Hey everyone, Havoc1996 here, and boy, it has been a very long time since I've last been on this channel. There are multiple reasons for that, but the main thing is that I am still in college, but I'm almost done. Got about a couple semesters left, including this semester. So, yeah, there's that. And also, lately, I've been operating on another channel called NobleCrusader Films, and if you'd like to check that channel out, I'll have the name down in the description below. This channel at NobleCrusader Films is basically a channel of short films, like live action short films that I've done both for classwork and outside of school. So yeah, that's kind of why I haven't been active on this channel for so long. But yeah, and so today in this video, there is a mock that I made. I'm going to share with you guys, and it is for, or not for, it is from the extremely popular live-action Star Wars TV show, The Mandalorian, on Disney Plus. And this may be a spoiler warning for you guys. I'm assuming that you all have seen the entirety of the first season of The Mandalorian, and so this mock is based off of the full flashback that you see in the last episode of The Mandalorian. And so, again, spoiler warning, if any of y'all have happened to not seen the full season, and especially episode 8 of The Mandalorian, stop watching this video and watch the episode so you can see the full flashback before seeing this mock. So, with that out of the way, let's jump right on into it. Alright, you guys, so here's the mock. The full-fledged flashback in Chapter 8 of The Mandalorian Season 1. And, sorry about some of the lighting. This room does not have great lighting, and so I've got a extra lamp in here to help out with that. And so anyways, let's get back to it. So this mock is the first of its kind, I guess you could say, to at least from stuff that I've made, to be something like this. And what I mean by that is part of it being lifted up, I guess you could say, whereas the first base plate is not actually part of the mock. Like, as you can see, I've got one full gray base plate underneath all this, and then I used a bunch of different bricks and pieces to build up for the actual base of this mock. The base of this mock, I will say for certain, is 5 bricks high, or 7 if you count the flats of the bottom and top of this mock. But the reason why that this mock is lifted so high up on the base is because of this structure in here. As you can see from the picture up on the screen, this is where the young Mandalorian, Din Djarin, I believe that's what his name is. Yeah, Din Djarin. That's where his parents attempted to hide him in, and after I completed the construction of this section, and by the way, this was the first piece that I made while building this mock. Get this to move without anything falling over. Just to get some better angles here. Yeah, so this is the first piece of this mock that I made. And this was probably, well, not the main or most tricky part, but this was one of the tricky parts of this mock to make, as I was using a screenshot that I took as a reference to building this. And after I completed this part of the mock, and well, after completing this and further construction of this mock, I realized that this part of the mock was completely off scale, I guess. Like, the size comparison is way off from that of what you see in the episode, in the flashback. It would be smaller. It would actually be smaller if I had done some accurate measurements or so, or done this a little bit smarter. I don't know. But anyways, you learn from your mistakes. So moving forward, we have young Din Djarin, sorry. So yeah, so little boy right here. I know that in the flashbacks, all the civilians, including Din Djarin, are wearing all red. And as you can see, there's a civilian right there. That not all of these civilians, and there's 4 on here, well 5 if you count young Din Djarin, and they're not all, and they're not all of them are wearing complete red, because I do not have a bunch of dark red clothing for these civilians. So you can see behind the Super Battle Droid and the Mandalorian, there's a civilian right there in the mask. And there's 2 more in the back here. And so yeah, let's move on here. So in the flashback, we see that this world, whatever the world is that young Din Djarin is on, it's being attacked by the CIS during the Clone Wars. And so the only droids you see, aside from 1 or 2 droid gunships, are super battle droids. And so that's why I got right here all of my super battle droids on this mock, which is 7. And then I have 6 Mandalorians on this mock as well, and they're all Death Watch. Mandalorians of Death Watch. And so they all look the same. The gray antenna and blasters, regular Lego Star Wars blasters, with the exception of this Mandalorian here, who is in hand-to-hand with this Super Battle Droid. And let's get him out here, show you what I mean. So at first I tried to make all these Mandalorians look the same as they all do in the do this here, as they all look the same in come on, focus, in the Flashback, but the last great arc antenna that I had was not fitting on any of these Mandalorians. It would just be loose. It'd be hanging really loose on the helmets. And so I just decided to use one of my black ones and decided to give him a different arm and hand, just to make him like an officer of the group, I guess. The guy who's leading the charge and defense of this village. And it's also got a Lego K-bar knife, which would be a vibro blade. As he's getting ready to slice up this Super Battle Droid. So yeah, you got the officer in charge of the group, and you got a couple the rest of the Mandalorians are in action as well. And so you see, so I don't know if you say in like one of the iconic scenes, I guess you could say, of this flashback of the Mandalorian that saved young Din Djarin from this Super Battle Droid here. He's kneeling down to pick him up. Originally I wanted to do where the Mandalorian is up on the air, and holding young Din Djarin, carrying him away from battle, but there was no possible way to make that happen. So yeah, that's what I came up with. So again, we got some more Mandalorians over here, one on the ground, protecting or saving the civilian, another one on the roof of this building, and a couple more Mandalorians over here on the jetpacks. I know the studs are on their feet, but you know, that's what I've seen other people do with characters of jetpacks. And so this Mandalorian is landing, and this one behind here is taking off. And I got different shades of these orange studs underneath them, and on this guy he's got two clear studs on the very bottom. And so right here you see a destroyed Super Battle Droid from that Mandalorian, and all the fire pieces. There's an explosion, so he got shot. Another fire piece right there, and right over here as well, and one right there. And so as far as terrain and texture goes, as you can see, there's some grass pieces and a rock piece right there, a bunch of other little textures, and I tried to make this whole surface tan color, whether like either this light tan stuff or the dark tan, but I just don't have enough pieces for it, so I just try to find whatever flat piece I could find I can match the color scheme, I guess. And so obviously, as you can see, most of it ended up being dark gray with a mixture of light tan, dark tan, brown, and this dark green piece right here. And obviously in the flashback, it's all kind of a barren type of ground, like just dirt all the way around with some grass scattered and up against buildings and all that. And it's not perfect, but you know, I think it looks all right. And so right here got some kind of a structure. You see something like this in the flashback. Maybe some kind of just a random object or an antenna thing on the ground. So I included that in there from the flashback as well. And the building, well, I didn't exactly build an exact. I didn't build an exact building from one of those in the flashback, as you can see right in this picture here. But I just kind of looked at all the buildings and then just try to get some. I took some bits and pieces from certain buildings and just made this one. And there is some stuff that I put inside the building, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so here's the inside of this little building. There's nothing special. There's the roof of it. As you can see, there's a little bed, a chair, a little table, and a cup and apple, and then some different tools, like a couple different like a Lego. Oh, another piece fell. Rifle right there. Then another random Lego gun piece. This is not an important piece of the mock, so I just didn't really put a whole bunch of effort into it. But yeah, and this piece fell. Let me get that real quick. Yeah, again, this is not the most important piece of the mock, the interior of this house, so I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. But as you can see, that this civilian right here, let's just say that he was inside his house and he hears commotion and opens the doors open and he sees what's going on. So, yeah. As far as the doors of the house, figuring that in the Star Wars universe there are no like doors with knobs and stuff like in the modern world today, the flat gray piece you see right there at the guy's feet, and these three pieces right there underneath the main part of the roof, those are supposed to be the points of where the door opens and closes from. Whether when it opens it goes up or down doesn't matter, and then when it closes, same deal. So yeah, now you've seen the inside of the house. Let's jump right back into the ending of this mock. Alrighty, everyone. So this is it. The mock from the flashback scene of Chapter 8 of The Mandalorian. I really like this mock. It is like the first time I've ever done something like this in regards to building a certain piece and then just building up around that piece, like having, just something like this, and this is really awesome, I think. Oh, and to also show you guys one other thing. Just move this destroyed Superbowser for a second. The doors here. Now again, part of the whole spiel of this piece of the mock not being completely accurate. Same goes with the doors, but yeah, I made it where the doors do work. It's kind of they can close and open, but it's a little bit tricky. So you kind of have to do it at the same time, like so.
to close. So yeah, and open those back up. Put this guy back here. But yeah, I just want to show you guys that real quick. I almost forgot about that. But yeah, again, I really enjoyed making this block, and in fact, it only took me about a day to make this. But yeah, again, a vast improvement on my skills in building Lego MOCs, for lack of a better way to describe it. But yeah, let's give it one good look at it. Really awesome stuff. Action and whatnot. And texture and everything. Okay. So, with everything done, let's jump right on into the ending.
Alright everyone, I hope that you really enjoyed seeing this MOC. I really do think that it is by far, at this point in time, the best MOC that I've made, as it is a vast improvement from all of my other MOCs. But you know, there could be something greater than this one in the future, potentially. We'll just have to wait and see. And so, just to let you guys know, I'm not going to be active on this channel on a daily basis or weekly basis. I will try to still be active though. And so, as of right now, I'm going to try something different. If there is a particular MOC that any of y'all want me to make, or if there's anything related to Star Wars that you want me to do, let me know what you think down in the comments section below. And if you like this video, hit the like button, of course, and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content. And I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.